Greetings, listeners. I am your host and game master this evening, Zach Barrett, and welcome to this Twisted Gear Studios production of Spacers, our Starfinder actual playcast. Last we left the crew, the Seven's capital ship has arrived, as predicted by Xovak. After striking a deal with the commander of the Azlanti Colony ship, the Bermuda, the crew of the Meteor were permitted safe passage out of the system. Seeing the Bermuda under attack from the Seven, the crew turned back to help and capture their bounty.
Return to the exact same hangar bay that you left. The guards have all gone. You left before you even flew out the first time. And you land. No one seems to stop you.
That's good, because Greg is admittedly not very good at backing into parking spaces.
Apparently he's not good at pulling
he'd need a lot of space.
Either.
Well, he was distracted.
Well.
Or, probably not. But I'm going to say that he was.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
So there's nobody in this hangar bay at all, then?
There are people in the hangar bay. They're all kind of running around to their spots, but no one seems concerned with your ship having just docked.
Okay.
I hit the button to open the door, and I'll over the comms, I go, all right, Flinch, tell me where I'm going.
What?
You can scan things, right? Scan things. Tell me where to go.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Is it, so I'm going to try to scan, or isn't it easier just to go into the system to see exactly what part of the ship that the troop transport
Yes.
connected to?
It's one of those things where you can do a scan for life forms and things like your ships can do, and it'll say that there are some.
There are lots.
But it won't give you a map or a layout of the ship. You'll have to go to a ship computer and try and see if you can pull a layout of the ship
Okay,
there.
so, we should everyone get their stuff. Let's run off the ship. I need to get to a computer station so I can track down exactly where we have to go to.
Yeah, I'll go off the ship and I'll scan for any computers that are just in the bay.
Alright, so all of you are leaving the ship?
Yep.
Yeah. And Greg's going to make a point of taking his duct-taped space helmet and little space suit and stuffing that into his backpack. Just in case he's jettisoned into a vacuum of space.
I kind of want to throw you in the vacuum of space because of duct tape, but anyway.
Yeah.
It will work, but only for Greg.
Yeah, I only have 4 rolls. I don't know how much time that would give me in the vacuum of space. Of duct tape, but
Not many, but...
we might find out.
I'll lock the door behind us.
Damn. I'm going to steal your ship. The infamous lock.
While everyone else is looking for a computer station, I'm just holding my gun up and standing guard.
Alright, everybody roll a perception check, please, for various different things. Laurel, what'd you get?
Where is perception? Is wisdom, which I have 0 of 11.
19.
9.
21 for Greg.
Woo.
Dang.
And what are you in there, Laura?
I'm watching for threats.
No, but what did you roll?
Oh, 11.
11? Alright, you see, so this hangar bay, as mentioned before, is quite large, right? It can house significantly larger ships than yours. So it's a couple stories tall. And you see in one of the upper gantries, you see a couple of Azlanti troopers that are shooting into a hallway. It doesn't look like the commotion has started to breach this area, but it's close enough that they can be shooting and you can see their side of the conflict up top. Flinch, there is a lovely wrench that was left behind. And you now have a wrench.
Yay!
Go with your screw that you bought yesterday.
They're different sizes.
Priorities.
Yeah.
Well, a wrench doesn't work on a screw.
This is
so
true. But even if it did, they would still be different
Flinch will
sizes.
make it work.
That'll be an interesting
I'll lend you
check.
some duct tape. You can attach the screw to the wrench.
For
Anyways.
Danza and Greg, you guys do see that there is a there's like a nest that kind of helps conduct when ships are coming and going and things like that, and it seems to be vacant. Whoever was on duty has left due to the crazy circumstances that are happening. But there's a nest, and it looks like there is a small elevator and or ladder that leads up into it at the other end of the hangar bay.
I'll make my way over to the ladder and start climbing.
Alright, you guys watch as Deantha just heads straight towards this big, this yellow spire that leads through like a yellow canopy that looks over the entire hangar bay. What are the rest of you guys gonna do?
I'm gonna go behind her and just as you're climbing, because I'm tall, I'm gonna nudge you and kind of point where I see the shooting happening. It's like, think we want to go there.
We need to get information before we fight anything.
Am I still looking at my wonderful Azlanti wrench?
Well, as soon as you see Deantha walking away, you're like, ooh, pocket the wrench.
And I'll run over as well.
Okay.
Computers
Yeah.
expert.
I'll follow as well and climb up, and if I'm moving faster, I'll just climb up over them. That's fine.
You'll probably climb. I don't think I'm very fast.
I'm assuming you Flinch, are just too lazy to climb a ladder yourself? Are you too lazy to climb a ladder yourself? Would you just jump on her back?
Oh no, I would climb a ladder.
Okay.
And it's funny because I know for a fact that Greg, if had the choice to jump on someone's back, it would be mine.
I don't need to though, because my acrobatics is kick.
You know what? Just for the lulz, roll me an acrobatics.
Ew. Maybe I should take back what I just said. I rolled a 4 on the dice, which is for 12 plus 5 is 17, 21.
Oh my god.
I don't know what to tell you.
What? Operatives are nuts.
Well, a lot of this has to do with me just being a goblin too.
Oh, fair enough. So Deantha,
Well, we knew
you go
goblins were
to,
nuts.
you know how a ladder works. It's got the rungs, and you start climbing up rung by rung by rung, as you normally should use a ladder. And as you're going, you watch as Greg kind of climbs up the side of the ladder with just the one bar in front, and just ding 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 ding, and crawls right past you and goes right up to the top.
Just as Greg passes, like, find a computer.
I don't know if you want me to be the one to do that, but okay.
It's just a quick question about this platform. Is it connected to anything, or is it a standalone tower?
It's standalone tower.
Okay, I'm gonna stay at the bottom for now, and I'm gonna train my long-range rifle where I see the fighting happening. But I'm gonna keep looking around because because I didn't see anyone up there, so I'm assuming they don't need me up there. And so, just for A, support them, I'm more useful just being long-range, keeping an eye on things. And B, I want to be ready to run for the fight if it happens.
Ooh, fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Greg, as well, Flinch, have you climbed up the ladder as well?
I had a 14.
14 for your acrobatics. So, Flinch is just kind of keeping up behind you. Every time you go up a rung, you hear a tink tink. You go up a rung, tink tink. He's just slowly trailing you. Greg, you reach the top of the ladder first. Mm-hmm. You're in this little nook area. It's as far as little command modules go, it's it's not tiny. Mm-hmm. It's a fairly cramped space, but it could seat up to 3 individuals as different operators that can look at different aspects of the of this rather large hangar bay.
Okay.
So, what do you want to do while you're in here?
I could attempt a computer's check on my own, but I feel that's probably not my personal strength. So what I might do is see if there's a way to... Is there any kind of vent that would be large enough for a Vesk to get through that we could leave the hangar bay from instead of through the front door where we normally would?
Roll a perception check.
Vent that would fit a Vesk.
That's gonna be
That would
difficult.
be a big
Yeah,
vent.
I know. It's a big one.
Perception, that's 5, 6, 7 plus 14 on the dice, so 21.
Good lord. But even with a good roll, you cannot see what isn't there. You look around, and the Azlanti Star Empire, the race that's most predominantly comprising of the Imperials is human.
Okay.
So, and it's almost only humans or humanoids that you've seen.
Human-sized or smaller.
So vents tend to be of like that smaller,
Okay.
size. So nothing that seems to be, useful for a Vesk.
All right. Aside from that, I'll just get into starting to watch the direction where the shooting and stuff was happening, just to keep an eye on what's happening over there.
Okay. Deantha and Flinch, you guys make it to the top.
I'll just look at Flinch, who's behind me, like, you're good at computer stuff. Go do computer stuff. Find where we are.
I found a wrench.
That's not crucial to the mission right now. Please go to a computer.
Do I see any acceptable computer modules that I can plug into?
3 of them actually. Yeah, there's any one of them seems to work. They're all command modules that allow you to control varieties of aspects and functions of the hangar bay itself.
Okay, I'll go data check in.
All right, cool. Roll a computer's check. You're looking for a map, right? That's the idea?
Yeah, I'm looking for an overall map blueprint to know the best way to get somewhere. 31?
Oh my god.
I rolled a 19 plus a 12.
You become the ship.
You watch as secretly he was Optimus Prime all along. Yeah, there we go. So Flinch looks at you, Diantha, and goes, I found a wrench! You point to a computer. He goes to a computer. He plugs in. He sits there for a bit, takes the wrench, smacks the computer with the wrench, and then goes and smiles with glee and kind of nods. He's like, yeah, there we go, that worked. You, sir,
maintenance.
That's where my
Professor
hand.
Maintenance. You, sir, get a layout of the entire ship. It is huge. So as for the sake of what's relevant for this, you are able to find that like it's several hundred floors, of kilometers in length. It is a colony ship, and the fighting seems to be prioritized around any of the command areas, any area that has access to computers similar to this, but primarily the bridge. They don't seem too invested in the colonists, so all within this relative area that you were currently in.
Okay, can I overlay that map with the hull breach alarms, so I know which parts on the map that the transport ships have attached to?
Yep.
That's where the alarms would be coming from.
Yeah, absolutely. So with a 31, that makes that makes perfect sense. The closest one is not the one you're looking for, but the closest one is literally just a floor above the hangar bay. They're not here to, doesn't seem like they're here to steal wares, or at least at this point, hasn't been where they've gone. They're headed towards a nearby science bay. The one you are looking for breached right near the top of the command spire. One of the higher points of the colony ship itself is where you would assume the bridge to be. It embedded itself in that spire. The other two, one is closer to engineering, and then one is kind of between to make sure they're relatively equidistant apart. There's not one that went off on its own and away from the rest. And so the fourth is just kind of bridging the gap between the one that's in engineering, the one that's near science, and the one that's near the bridge.
Okay, fair enough. So Flinch is going to turn to Diantha and Greg and give the information. I need to plot a course to the main ship that we're looking for, because that's our main goal.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to take us around most of the alarmed areas, so we're not held up before the ship is taken, because it's going to get taken.
Wants to plan the optimal route.
Planning the optimal route.
As best as I can with the information I have at the moment.
Yep. Roll me one more computer's check.
25.
25? Okay, that's pretty good. There's a multitude of different routes you can take. Pros and cons to each one. The first and foremost is you could just take the hallways, but there's a lot of full-on like gunfights happening between you and any destination you could possibly be going to. Mm-hmm. The other is there are vents. You and Greg can easily traverse them. Diantha would have a rough time, but Laurel would not be able to follow. The other is that there is so this is a cargo bay, and as a colony ship, they do transport lots of goods from place to place and cargo hold to cargo hold. So there is a cargo conveyor belt. It's a longer process, but you could all fit, and it takes you close to the bridge, but you would still have to leg it the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm. And the other question I have, I know this seems to be taking a little bit of time, but the other question I have is, with the bit of time from where the conveyor belt would drop us off, is there any markings for an armory or supply room between where we get off the belt to when we get to the bridge?
I'd say with the 25 that there is an armory that you come close to, but it does seem locked. So
yeah, so is it possible? Yeah, and I can try to hack it. Is there any information in here that can help me with the check to unlock the armory check?
Roll a perception check. Just look around. Yeah.
I rolled a 20.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. So 25.
Well, if the dice decree it, then fine. Whoever works here in this area is a bit of a slob and also doesn't have a very good memory. As you're looking around and you're thinking, army would be nice. On the back of the monitor, there's like sticky notes of passwords. You find 4. They don't say what the passwords are for, but there are 4 distinct passwords on the equivalent of space stickums that you could take with you and they can unlock something.
Okay, well, I'll just take a picture with my brain
sense.
to keep a record of all 4 passwords, and I'm going to turn to everyone. Well, it's not everyone. It's I'm going to turn to Greg and Diantha and say, "Start heading to the conveyor belt. I just have one more thing to take care of, and I'll meet you there. We're going to take the conveyor belt to get us as close to the area as possible, and then you guys can do all that crazy stuff, and while me and Greg are hiding and scrounging. I mean hiding or doing stuff. Yeah. Cool beans."
So where is the conveyor belt from here?
I'll just point it out from the...
It's not easy to notice until your attention's drawn to it, but like there is, against one of the far walls, there looks to be almost like if it was a giant oversized ladder but with no rungs and just huge, but there is a crate at the base of it, and you realize when looking at it when he draws your attention to it that, oh yeah, I guess if you activate it, it could just pick the crate up and take it, and then there is a nice hole in the wall that could open up and eat the crate, if you will.
Okay, and that's downstairs, right? Because we're upstairs in this little that's okay, so I'll head downstairs, ignoring what I just heard.
Yeah.
Greg's good for whatever. Let's go shoot some things from a distance. Not up close.
You have one more thing you were taking, right?
Yes, there's one more thing. It just might take Flinch a second. He saw that the transport ships have docked near science, one of the science labs, and transport ships have docked near the engineering.
Docked.
Yeah. So
Breached.
Crashed.
I'm gonna perma-lock the doors to those locations. I want to lock down the area completely because they mightn't have had a chance to do that properly. Basically, because it'll hold them off longer.
Roll another computers check.
This is the one I will fail. I rolled another 19, so 31.
This is why you said that there was the one you would fail. That you were
No,
psyching out the dice.
Close. So, as you start going through, so pulling up the map is one thing. Accessing this ship's systems is another. So as you start digging into the ship's systems, you start realizing that there's security here, there are countermeasures and things like that. But there is a passcode at one point, and you try the first passcode, it don't work. You try the second, it don't work. You try the third, and it does. And you are able to actually get in. And so you lock down those couple of areas. There have been a couple of there were fights in those rooms already, but they now aren't getting worse. For now.
Fair enough. And that's it. Then I'm gonna head to the ladder and
Slide down like a boss.
Yeah.
Laurel, as you hear Diantha beginning to climb down the ladder and Greg soon after, you hear the death cries of a couple of soldiers right near the door that you're watching.
Okay.
And as that happens, a couple of very clearly not Azlanti Star Imperials come in through the door. They seem to be clad in really rough, thrown-together armor, and brandishing a sword in one hand and a pistol in the other of some kind.
I shoot the first one with my... Well, what range are they at?
They're pretty far away. They're about 60 feet away.
I just wrote that it was a long-range rifle. I didn't write what the range was.
Star Wars.
My hunting rifle has a range of 90.
So you could
I'm
probably
assuming
get them.
as a long range, because my short range is 30 feet.
Well, let me take
that
that
long
up.
range will cut 60 is fine.
What's the name of your rifle?
It just says long rifle arc emitter is what I wrote down. We stole it from a dead body, so.
Okay. A long rifle arc emitter,
Yeah.
15 feet.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a shotgun.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
not a down. Okay,
not
then what I
a-
actually.
Yeah.
So,
It's physically long, but it doesn't have long range.
err. See, I just assumed it was because it said the word long in it. That was poor judgment on my part. All right, then. I am going to. So, they're about 60 feet?
60 feet away.
So, if I fire with something that's 30 feet,
It's
is
minus
that
two.
minus
It's minus
2?
2. Yeah.
Okay.
There's the extra range.
Well,
It could scatter more.
then has he seen me?
It's
Or we're out
it's
in the
hard
open.
to tell. You're out in the open, and it's not like they were here looking specifically for you,
Yeah.
but it's not like they're avoiding you.
Well, we're not hiding, so I'm going to shoot him.
Cool. Roll that.
So that's minus 2, but plus the ranged attack, so it's 16.
16?
Yeah.
That is. It's like here. Is it an energy weapon or a physical weapon?
Physical.
That hits.
Sweet.
Roll your damage.
2.
All right, so you deal 2 points of damage to this critter. You watch as the bolt kind of strikes into the armor, the armor plating on their chest, and they go. And it's at this point when he begins to, what you think should be a grimace, you realize that there's no skin on its face. At least not entirely. There's some hanging off of the skull, but this is a bone trooper, an undead individual.
Okay. So headshot.
I mean, it's not George A. Romero, but.
Headshot.
Shot. All right, sweet. So, for the remainder of this, if I can get everybody to roll initiative, please. What?
Imagine a zombie.
All right, anyone roll nat 20s?
Oh, sorry. What was the question?
All right, flinch.
Nat, did you roll a nat?
Anyone net 20 or higher? Besides flinch? 15 to 20? All right, Greg.
I have a total of 21.
That one there. 10, 15. All right.
14.
14. And that means that, Laurel, what you get?
12 total.
That still works. All right, so with that, Flint, you are first. As you're coming down the ladder, you watch as you see Laurel take a shot off one of these guards that's kind of torn its way into the room and stepped over a couple of Azlanti corpses.
So I'm at the bottom.
For this, yeah, you've reached the bottom of the ladder. You're all down on deck level.
Where are we going?
Okay, is there a free action for me to point to the conveyor belt?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say, well, we're gonna head that way. Gonna pull out my hunting rifle, and oh yeah, my exocortex is going to lock onto him,
Yeah, I remember about that.
and I'm gonna take a shot.
Roll it. Is it energy or kinetic?
Okay. It is kinetic, but it's only a 10.
So you watch as the bullet kind of just goes wide and misses him completely. He looks like he made an effort to dodge the bullet, but at the end of the day, he missed. Movement. You're going to just keep moving towards the conveyor belt?
And then I'll start.
Cool. It's the Bone Trooper's turn. It pulls out its little pistol and it aims it at Laurel, the biggest target it can find.
Well, yeah.
Is it still 60 feet away?
So he's up on a catwalk. So he moves across and he nets just an extra 5 feet closer at the end of the day. But ultimately, unless he jumps down, which he hasn't done yet, so you treat him as 55 feet away now.
Okay.
Why don't they just? Oh, here we go. Sweet. Laurel, does a 16 on a kinetic weapon hit?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Oh my god, my arm class is real bad. I just remembered that.
So you get dealt 7 damage. As this,
Get some better weapons.
yeah.
It's a better armor.
Just better everything.
What is your kinetic armor class to begin with?
13. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get dealt 7 damage as when he fires, a couple of bolts shoot out at the same time, and you're struck by a couple of bolts, netting a total of 7 points damage. Greg, your turn.
So if I try shooting at him with, because my pistol has a 30-foot range, it'll be -2.
-2, yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm going to try to do. So I'll roll my stealth check first for my trick attack.
Is it -2 in general, or -2 for every
Range increment.
increment
Range
afterward, eh?
Yeah, so at
So,
60
yeah.
it's -2, 61, 90 it's -4.
Okay, so it's every 30 feet.
I think you can only go up to 4 range increments or something.
That just doesn't work. Yeah, so just -2.
Actually, I don't think, no. My trick attack is, the DC is 20 plus the CR rating, but I only have a total of 17 on the dice in general anyway, because I rolled a 2. Thank you for that.
So it's a regular attack.
And then I'll just roll my regular attack, and the total is 16. Oh, actually, no, 14, sorry.
14 physical?
Yes.
That is just enough.
Yes, it's 2.
Roll your damage.
And the damage is 1d6 piercing. And I rolled a 1.
Oh.
So 1.
So you watch as he kind of just shreds the top of the plates of armor on his shoulder. It hit him, but he just doesn't seem to be
Yeah,
phased by it.
If skin was hanging off my face, I probably wouldn't be phased by that either.
That makes sense. Diantha.
You have other problems.
I don't know if this is going to work, but I'll look at it and be like, don't worry, you're not worth our time, and I'm going to use a dispiriting taunt. So I'm going to make an intimidate check. 18 plus 7 is a high number. 25, and I'm going to add another d6 to it because I have expertise in it. So that's another 2, so it's 27. So whatever its DC is to demoralize it, I imagine it's probably enough.
So,
But yeah, it's dead, so I don't know
with
if
it
it'll
being
work.
undead, yeah, that's the issue. So you yell at it, and normally an individual will be like,
But it doesn't
and think
react.
twice, but it doesn't seem to really
I figured as
have enough
much.
sentience. To
Okay, I'll keep
acknowledge
running
what you're
towards
doing.
the whatever thing.
All right, and then for your movement, do you move towards the conveyor belt? Okay, sweet. All right. After that, a second bone trooper begins to crawl out from behind him and enter the causeway as well. It's going to take a shot at you, Diantha, since you were the last person it saw shoot.
I didn't shoot.
Yeah,
I just yelled at him.
Oh, yelling at him.
Technically, the last person to shoot is Greg.
So that shoots at you, Greg.
Yay.
Yay, and he nat 20'd. So DC's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Or actually, not as bad. You also got dealt 7 damage.
Okay, it goes through my stamina first.
Yep, stamina first and then through your HP afterwards.
Okay.
Alright. And then he kind of starts going along with the gantry with his buddy there. Laurel,
Yep.
bring up the rear.
All right, everyone is running.
Everyone else has started running towards the
Okay, I'm gonna run, but I'm also gonna shoot at guy I previously shot at.
Alright, roll it.
14.
Physical?
Yep.
That is enough. Roll for damage.
4.
4?
Yep.
Alright, so you're you fire, you hit him square in the chest, he takes it and is still standing. Yeah. Alright, to the top. Flinch. You are within one, your base speed is 30 feet or 25 because you're small.
30.
30? Then yeah, you could in your full movement reach the conveyor belt this turn.
And it would need to be set up and turned on, correct?
Correct.
So I think maybe I'm going to use a swift action, free action, whatever it is, to point toward a conveyor belt and say, everyone double time it onto that platform.
Yep.
And I'm going to move to the platform and start setting it up. So that way I can, because it's going to probably take my
Yep.
action to get it ready.
Yeah, we can hold your action for when everyone's on the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Say fantastic, makes sense to me. The bone trooper's not really acknowledging what you're doing, but they do see big giant lizard.
Mm-hmm.
So the one that you just shot at and does a 12 hit you? I didn't think so. So he misses completely. Greg, your
I
turn.
laugh at him.
Grek's going to pay attention to flinch. Miracles never cease, and actually do what he's saying, and move. My base speed is 35 feet, and so I need to use my full action to reach the.
You could make it there with 5 feet to spare.
Can I?
Yeah, you're just 30 feet away.
So I have another. I could take.
No
an
way,
action.
actually, because if you moved 35 feet last turn, you can make it with 10 feet to spare.
Okay, so I still have my action for this turn.
Yep. Oh yeah.
How far would they be from us now? They'd be 2 range increments from me.
Yeah, they're getting pretty far now.
I don't really have anything else I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna try shooting at them anyway.
Yeah, go for it. -4.
Same guy. I'll try the stealth thing again first. Okay, so I rolled a 10 on the dice this time. Plus 15, so that's 25.
So up to a 5 challenge rating.
Yeah.
Well, that would work, but you got to hit.
Yeah, I got a hit.
So your trick shot will work, but you have to
Yes,
see.
I have a
if you-
-4
Yeah.
to my.
And
yeah.
his AC is lowered by 2 for this shot, so it's really only a
Oh, that's
-2.
what your trick
Yeah.
shot's up. Yeah, just take it as -2.
But it's still, yeah. All right, I rolled a 17 on the dice. Woo! Plus
God.
5 is my normal modifier, so 22 minus.
So 20.
Yes.
So that's 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
Roll your damage. Wow, that's impressive.
7. I rolled a 6 on my d6 and a 1 on the d4.
So as Flinch begins pointing, get on the conveyor belt. Greg kind of just runs with unbelievable speed, and he cartwheels himself up onto the platform, and with one hand on the ground to hold himself up for the flip, he points the gun, and then there's a whole wanted curved bullet thing. The bullet hurls through the air, the bone trooper completely not expecting it, gets taken, and you've been shooting the one that everyone else has been shooting at?
Yes.
And you watch as it takes a chunk of bone off the side of his face. He's still standing, but he's looking pretty messed up.
I hope you guys enjoyed that, because it'll probably never happen again.
And then I'll just make my way up to where Flinch is standing for my next turn.
Diantha.
I will just use my full movement to get onto the platform. I won't do anything else because I don't have anything else to do. So,
Do you want to hold an action for anything just in case?
You can order us to do stuff.
no, not within. That would have to be in the same turn, and I don't know if that'd be useful. No, I'll just run and wait on the platform.
All right. Yeah, just jumps on the platform. The second bone trooper that hasn't shot yet begins moving down the gantry towards you guys. He is now only 50 feet away from you as he tries to close the gap on you guys, and he goes to take a shot at Greg, who just shot at his buddy.
How close is he now?
35 feet. Yeah.
So he might have -2 to hit.
Yeah, well, he does get a -2 to hit, but does an 18 still hit your kinetic armor class?
Yes, my kinetic arm class is 16.
All right. So you dealt 9 points of damage. So he hits you with his repeating weapon.
So you're down.
I'm actually into
here.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
That's why I was looking for
On to
you.
Laurel. You
All
are
right.
within 30 feet.
I'm within 30 feet?
You're within 30 feet of the platform,
Oh.
and you are within 35 feet of the closest bone trooper, but not the one you've been shooting at.
I'm going to shoot the closest one.
Okay, roll for it.
Nat 20.
So you roll your damage, double the damage and the dice, and then add your numbers afterwards.
So you roll 2d6.
Add the numbers afterwards?
Like whatever if you have any additional add-ons to your
Oh,
damage or
yeah,
whatever.
no, I don't, because it's
So
a pistol.
then
If it was
roll
a melee weapon, I would, but I don't. 4 total.
4 total.
Yeah.
All right, so you fire, you take it. It strikes him right in the side of the neck. For any other living creature, this would hurt a lot. This guy just takes it, and it doesn't look pretty, but he doesn't look pretty to begin with. And you use the rest of your movement to get onto the platform.
Yep.
And with that, all of your party members flinch are on the platform. Your action begins. You can roll a computer check now to get that thing going.
Go fast.
Or an engineering check, sorry.
I rolled a 20 again. I don't know what's happening right now, but I just rolled a 20 again.
It's okay. Your luck will break one day.
Well, I did miss, remember? Like, it's working on my computer and engineering, but my shots are just garbage.
switch.
Well, all right, nat 20.
That's why
So
we
as
bring
soon
you
as
along.
everyone jumps there, you just hit the button, and then the thing just starts going right away. However, you notice that there's also, I'll say with a nat 20 on that, this control panel allows you to access even the cranes that would move the crates on or off of the conveyor belt itself. And you look down on one of the gantries, one of the arms is actually quite close to the bone trooper that's closest to you.
Yeah, would I have time to make it before jumping onto the platform itself? To
Just
move
flicking
the
a switch and it'll just move.
Yeah. Hopefully it whacks him off.
Flick the switch. I just want you to roll a d20 real quick. Just give me the outcome.
13 is what I rolled on the d20. If it's a check, I don't know.
Let's treat it as an engineering check.
So that would be 24.
24. Why do I do this? All right, and with that,
So broken.
with that, where's my?
That's all I'm good at. Engineering and computers, people.
Well done.
And I rolled a 12 on the d12. So with that, you watch as this arm kind of swings out, and a little safety regulation symbol pops up on the screen. As you know, an arm probably shouldn't be going
Wrench.
past a causeway. You take your newfound wrench, you smack it, it ignores the security warning, and it shears the bone trooper from the waist up as it goes right over top of the railing and just severs him. He's not dead as you watch the top half land on the ground, and he begins to crawl towards where you guys are headed towards that conveyor belt, and you jump on with the rest of your teammates and up and away into the conveyor belt proper.
Hopefully this thing moves faster than a luggage conveyor belt at an airport.
Yeah, there's that.
That would be a long trip.
Marginally faster.
It's still quicker
Yeah.
and better than trying to go through
Yes,
all
yes,
the
it
fights on the ship.
Yes.
Yep.
I agree.
So with this,
Better.
is there anything you guys wish to do when you're on the conveyor belt? It's a relatively.
About how long will it take?
It'll take you guys about 10 minutes.
Okay.
For how long of that 10 minutes are we still in the hangar bay?
So what the conveyor belt does, so the way that you guys hopped on it, it takes you out of the as soon as you're up and into the port, you're out of that hangar bay.
Oh, okay, so I
So-
can't get one more shot off on the other bone trooper?
No,
Okay.
I know.
So, recovering stamina points. 10 uninterrupted minutes
This
on the
would count.
conveyor belt. I'm thinking for Grek, if you spend one resolve point, you will gain back all 14 of your stamina points.
Yep.
Okay, but just stamina, right?
Yeah, your hit points
Yeah,
stay
hit
the
points
same.
is different.
All right.
You need
Yeah,
spells
but I mean, it gives you
and
that
potions
14
Yeah.
damage buffer, which could be useful.
Okay.
But it
for that.
costs a
Stamina
resolve.
system's nice.
But it costs a resolve, right?
How much
Yeah.
do you get back per resolve?
Your full stamina.
Yep.
Oh,
As long
okay.
as you spend 10 minutes of uninterrupted rest, you can spend a resolve and get all your stamina back.
And how do we get the resolve points back?
Through rest, like
Okay.
a long rest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I'm
Yeah.
going to do that as well.
This is it's the balance of being. It's like the balance of healing between
because at
combats.
the moment we don't have a whole lot of stuff that we can spend resolve points on other than
Now, actually, I was just about to
recovering
touch on
healing.
that.
Oh, okay.
So one thing to keep in mind with your resolve points, if you get into an altercation where your HP hits 0,
Mm-hmm.
and your next turn you don't have a resolve point, you die. So resolve can be used in 2 additional ways at your current level. It's
Yeah.
used to unlock a bunch of abilities too when you get higher level. But if you reach 0 hit points, you're unconscious. Your next turn, you can spend a resolve point to stabilize yourself to not get worse, and depending on your abilities, come back with 1 HP. But if you so how many resolve points do you have in total?
5.
Laurel? 5?
Yeah.
So if you were to reach 0 hit points right now, you have 5 turns to be stabilized or you die.
Okay.
If you
I'm-
use up resolve and there's no points there, you die.
I feel like we're not going to get another 10 minutes of uninterrupted rest
Yeah.
again.
For a while.
So I'm going to just use that now and get my 7 stamina back, and because that will make me less likely to get to 0 HP.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. I'm just giving you guys the heads up on
No, it's good to
you know,
good to know.
Yeah.
that stuff.
Thank you.
Sweet. So 10 uninterrupted minutes of conveyor belt. It's a nice calm ride, minus the blood curdling screaming and laser blasts you hear off in the distance. But the conveyor belt takes you through several different environments. The ship is kind of cordoned off into different sections for different climates for colonists. So there's a nice farmland area where they're actually cultivating their own food for their journeys until they plant down and plant roots, as it were. There's some kind of they're all different kinds of storage areas. There's one that smells terrible. It's for livestock and all the manure that comes with, things like that. Until finally there is a point where the conveyor belt begins to halts, and then begins to go up as it heads up towards your eventual destination. There are no controls on the conveyor belt to stop the conveyor belt, and your destination is coming up. So, for anyone that wants to get off, you'll have to make acrobatics checks.
Okie doke.
Athletics checks works too, whichever one you prefer.
What am I better at?
Yep, definitely my athletics is better.
Athletics.
21.
21. Kadogi. Diantha.
20.
20. Greg.
30 for acrobatics. I rolled 17 on the die. So
No,
it's
I mean,
really good.
it makes sense. I'm not surprised. And Flinch?
19.
So all of you rather deftly just hop off into the open port where you're supposed to go on off, and not even any worry about getting sheared by the crane as it
That
goes
took way
past.
too long. Where are we going now?
Oh, it's still quicker. It's still quicker. It's still quicker. And I take up my wrench like a divining rod. This way.
I just roll my eyes and follow him.
Roll a bluff check. I just want to see.
Rolled a 16, so 20 total on my bluff check.
Somehow it makes sense that he's using his wrench as a
That's an
way to-
Azlanti wrench on an Azlanti
I'm gonna think critically on this one. I think, and I'm gonna sense motive.
Why
'cause
not?
I
Yeah, sense
completely
motive.
believe that as a Yosoki mechanic, that is his weapon.
13. No, what do I need to add my
Sense motive. Yeah.
motive? Right. Oh, just kidding. 18.
It doesn't seem plausible, but you've seen weirder.
But if I believe it, that's all that matters.
Yosoki are magical creatures.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
I'll just ignore it. Keep going.
I can't do this. All right, as you guys continue down the hallway, the screaming and the firefighting becomes a lot louder as you kind of start walking towards it.
And the armory's on the way.
It is on the way. Yeah. So as you come to a T intersection in this hallway, the destination you're heading to is to your left. As soon as you kind of reach up and you take a peek around, there, right on the other side of that intersection, around that corner, is the breach porthole itself from the breaching pod. And it has kind of damaged the armory door, but it's still, you can still reach it. But just 15 feet down the hallway is a couple of bone troopers that are going over some Azlanti corpses and confirming their kills. So how do you want to approach this?
Before we go anywhere, I'm just like, reminder, we don't want to kill the bounty. So.
Yeah, I'm assuming none of these look fancy. I'm assuming the leader.
2 bone troopers.
Do they all look like they have 1d4 gold on them?
Well, since no one uses
Or
gold
credits.
anymore.
Credits. 1d4 credits.
Is this like our no, but I mean the device guy we're getting, he's not already dead.
I can't imagine that he'd be dead by now. He wouldn't.
Yeah, let's kill these guys.
We can
Again.
kill the bone troopers. Don't kill the vice. Good?
Crack my knuckles. I can't actually do that into the mic, but I
Also-
Laurel can.
Okay, I'm just gonna
Also,
check
it might
something
be
really quick.
beneficial for us to use this time to take advantage of the armory conveniently just over there.
So,
Do
question.
we need to go through these to get to the armory?
Yeah.
No, the armory is
It's on the
between
other
you
side.
and them, but they are 50, so the armory door is about 10 feet away from you, and then they are 15 feet further down the
So
hallway.
our two options
But they've
are
not noticed you
to
yet.
kill them and go into the armory, or to try sneaking past them into the armory.
Correct.
Yeah, we don't have to go past them, right? We just need to get in.
Well, on the other side of
before they
them,
notice us.
past them, is the path towards the bridge.
Okay, so we're gonna have to deal with 2 of these to begin with. How far away are they from around the corner where we're looking?
25 feet.
Great.
All right.
So, what do you say we focus fire one down? They seem pretty tough, and then work on the other one.
Works
If
for
anyone's
me.
sneaking into the armory first, get me something nice. I poke around and I shoot one.
So, yeah, take it. I guess is initiative, or do we all get a surprise attack? Does one person get a surprise attack?
I would say you'll all get a surprise round because they have not noticed you. So, and with that, you guys go up to you go to attack the bone troopers that are in your way.
Thank you for listening to this Twisted Gear Studios production. The next episode of Spacers will air Tuesday, April 30th. Until then, Tuesday, April 23rd is the next episode of The Call, our Call of Cthulhu actual playcast GM'd by Derek Snow. And Friday, April 26th, is the next episode of our collaboration podcast with MacGuffin Media, The Legend of Zingdong. The game system used today was the Starfinder game system by Paizo. Music in this episode was licensed through Video Copilot and Sirenscape. Sound effects and ambient tracks licensed through Triune Films, Video Copilot, and Sirenscape. You can find all of Twisted Gears' podcasts on YouTube, Google Play, Apple Music, and Spotify. Please like and follow the Twisted Gear Studios' Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Twisted Gear. Your players this evening were Janessa Coles, Lindsay Delansky, Derek Snow, Elizabeth Wells, and Bailey Yarkey. Your audio operator tonight was Rob Hickey, and I was your host and GM, Zach Barrett. If you happen to be in the Fort McMurray area, you can find me at Tavern on Main every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. for trivia. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.